Hi everybody, welcome to this week's Help Me Communicate, where I help you become a better communicator. I'm Mike Garsko with SuccessToolChest.com and FindAMentor.com, and we do these Help Me Communicate live videos once a week, and we're changing them from 10 a.m. on Wednesdays to noon on Wednesdays. So you can join me here every Wednesday at noon for a weekly Help Me Communicate. This week, I'm going to talk about the power of intentions in communicating. What's the difference between overlying intentions and underlying intentions? They're very important. They differ quite a bit, and they affect communications dramatically. How do they affect them? Well, expressing intentions are a very key part of the communication process. The human interaction process, the way we communicate as humans, is a 5-step process. You've heard me say it many times. I'll review it again here quickly right now. As humans, the human interaction process, I call it the HIP, goes like this. The first thing that happens is we sense something first. One of our 5 physical senses kicks in. When we're communicating, it's typically we hear something or we see something. From that, the second step is that we get a thought and our perception about what we just witnessed, what we saw or what we heard. After the thought and perception process, we get a feeling. Sometimes it's an emotional trigger and sometimes it's a controlled feeling. But we sense, we think, and then we feel. The fourth step of the process is this. Once we sense, think, and feel, out of those 3 things comes an intention. And from the intention, we choose our action. So the 5-step process is sense, think, feel, intend, and act. Now, and it's in that intention part of the process that we choose our actions. And that's based on what we witnessed, what we saw, what we heard, and how we felt. There's 2 types of intentions that I'm going to talk about here, because often we respond and choose our actions based on that overlying intention, especially when the situation is negative. So our choice of action is determined by that intention, and the intention that we choose to act from, whether it's the overlying intention or the underlying intention, determines whether the communication stays on track or goes off track. And it's very important that we express and understand express our own intention and understand other people's intentions. And the underlying intentions are the key here to finding common ground. Let me give you some examples, an example of overlying intentions versus underlying intentions. The overlying intention is typically a trigger or a reactive intention. Somebody says something or does something to me that makes me feel angry and frustrated and negative in some way. And so my immediate reactionary intention after I've heard them or witnessed them do something to me, then I get a perception that it was a bad thing, and I get a bad feeling, I get frustrated or I get angry. And so my overlying reactionary intention becomes to make them feel as bad as I do or worse. And that's actually an overlying intention. So we do something, we choose some words that are mean or angry to make them feel like we're feeling. Or we punch somebody even to make them feel hurt. So overlying intentions are typically reactionary. They're typically in response to feeling bad ourselves or being hurt ourselves physically. The underlying intentions, though, are key. And when we're trying to resolve conflict, or we want our communication process to be healthy and progressive, it's important that we go beyond that overlying reactionary intention to the underlying intention. And typically what the underlying intention is comes from one of 2 places. The Buddha said all people are basically good. And it's a very true story. In any religious group, whether it's Christianity or Islam or Hinduism or Buddhism, the leaders and the originators of those religions believed that people were basically good. They believed that people basically come from a place of love. And it's very, very true. There was a gentleman, I forget his name, but he was a palliative care person. And for 20 years, he cared for people that were on their dying beds. And he often asked them questions. Now that you're on your dying bed, what goes through your mind. And what he found was one of two things went through people's minds. And it was basically these two things. They questioned, did I love well? Did I express and give the love to the people that I loved well? And the second thing was, am I loved? Do people love me? So what that leads us to the conclusion is that all people's basic intentions and actions are driven from either a desire to love or a desire to be loved. Now, love happens on a million different levels. Expressing a simple gesture of kindness is loving. Is loving somebody. Feeling a simple gesture of kindness from somebody else is a feeling of being loved. And so even though in backing up to that reactionary situation where somebody treated me badly or did something mean to me and I got angry and I got frustrated, underneath what's going on there is I want to be respected and I want to be loved or liked on some level. So being liked is another level of feeling loved. And so in response to that, you didn't show me that I'm likable or that I am a loved and respected person. And so I'm going to, the reactionary intention is I'm going to show you that same thing. But underlying, I want that person to love and respect me. Overlying, I want them to feel angry and frustrated so they don't do that to me again. So that the next time we interact, they interact with another person, they'll actually express kindness and love and they'll not be mean. So the underlying intention is to stop this person from being mean. The overlying intention is to make them feel as bad as I do. But stopping them from being mean is getting them to show respect and love. And so that's the underlying intention. In any communication situation that I've mediated, when I focus on getting to that bottom line intention, now let's go back to a work example. A construction worker didn't like how another person was working, so they sabotaged the work they were doing. I was asked to mediate. And the way I mediate is I bring first one individual in and I go through their human interaction process. What did you witness? What did you see? And what did you hear? How did it make you feel? What was your thoughts and perceptions around that incident? What do you want to happen? What's your intention here? And I do that with each individual. What happened for you? What did you see? What did you hear? What did you witness? What was your perception? How did you feel? And what was your intention there? Now, basically, what comes out of that is their overlying intention was to make the other person, to teach them a lesson and make them feel bad. But the underlying intention in both situations was to get the job done, to do well at work, to feel appreciated at work. And so their way of going about that was using their reactionary intentions, not focusing on the underlying basic one of two intentions: a desire to do a good job so that we're liked, or a desire to show the other person that we appreciate the work they're doing and wanting to show them that we appreciate the work they're doing. Most supervisors at work want their workers to do well, and they want to be able to show that appreciation and like that. Now, they don't always go about in the correct way. Lots of times people use negative stuff to try and motivate people. They will use fear to motivate people. But underneath, they just want the person to do a good job. And that is the key. Getting to that underlying intention, whether it's to get the person to do a good job, or whether it's getting the person to be nice and respectful, or whether it's getting the person to give and be kind. That's where we want to get to. And so the key is to focus on the fact that when people are doing mean things, that is a overlying reactionary response to an overlying reactionary intention. But the underlying intention for all people, they're all basically good, is to find that good in people. And when we do mean things, it's because we want that person to be a better person next time. So that's the good in that. And so in the process, what we want to do is get to that underlying intention. A seasoned conflict resolver will avoid those reactionary intentions and reactionary responses. They'll see the real, an underlying intention of not wanting to be treated mean or feeling bad. They'll avoid doing something mean in response. They'll identify their feelings and try to understand and reveal the other person's real feelings and the other person's underlying intentions first before they respond. They want to find out that person's underlying intentions, and they want to express their underlying intentions, their true intentions of a desire to be loved, to be liked, a desire to do a good job, a desire to give love or give kindness. And if they feel that's blocked, they're gonna realize that it's blocked, and they'll come back to that basic intention. And in communicating both about the overlying intentions and the underlying intentions, we get to that process of expressing kindness. So you want to focus on that underlying intention and always coming to that part of the intention process. And in that, you will control the actions of both people. So again, seek first to understand, then to be understood. That's the number one thing in communications. Seek to understand the other person's underlying intentions before you react. Seek to share your true, real, underlying good intentions in the communications process and uncover the other person's. That's today's lessons. It's quite simple. Avoid the reactionary and mean overlying intentions. Just go a little bit deeper. Ask more questions. Find out truly what the other person is doing in their mean actions or their unkind actions by finding out why they're doing them and what is being blocked in the form of kindness or being liked or being loved. And remember, kindness and being liked is all just another level of love. All people come from two things. A desire to be loved or a desire to give or receive love. All intentions come from those same two places. In any human interaction process, the basic intentions come from those two places. When we go deep enough, we'll always find that the basis is a desire to be liked or loved and a desire to give love or to give kindness. So that's the underlying intention. Remember, the reactionary overlying intentions are typically mean. Don't respond to those. Respond to that underlying one. That's what today's Help Me Communicate. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you get something out of it. Please remember to like our Facebook page here. Check out successtoolchest.com, our vlog blog, where we post all of these weekly events. I take holidays about 6 times a year, so every once in a while I won't be here on Wednesdays, but we are now going to Wednesdays at noon. It seems to be a little bit better time for people to participate. Check out findamentor.com. Be a mentor in that area of life that you're an expert in. And check out our contact communications program at successtoolchest.com. It's an inexpensive program to help you become a great communicator. Thank you for being here. Remember, look for those underlying intentions in every situation. If it's a conflict situation, pause before you respond. Don't respond from that overlying mean intention to make people feel the same as you. Get in touch with your underlying intentions, the desire to be liked, to be loved, the desire to give love and to give kindness, the desire to do a good job so that you're feeling appreciated at work. Whatever the situation, the good is underneath. Look for it. Go out and make it an awesome day. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.